There isn't a single individual who has never experienced some form of chaos in their lives. Even a newborn experiences some form of chaos when coming into the world. So the question is not whether or not you'll go through chaos, but rather how do you go through your times and seasons of chaos? Do you see that chaos as a ladder to climb up to reach true peace? Or do you see it as a gaping hole? Sometimes as an individual experiencing the chaos, you are able to climb up the ladder, get to a place of peace and contentment, even though you know that this situation is not what I would rather be going through. It's not something that I would choose if given an option, but I'm here and I have peace. I have peace in the midst of the chaos. And then we got some well-meaning and well-intentioned people who come into that situation and ask questions and make comments that make you doubt your contentment, your state of peace. I'm Katla Moagi, and whatever time and season you're in your life, I hope that this video helps you realize that chaos is a ladder that we climb to get closer to God Almighty. At times we go through difficult times in life, hard times that are fully understood by God Almighty Himself. And although these times lead us to heartache and pain and loss, sometimes we are able to get peace, to have peace in the midst of all of the chaos, And I think the true source of all peace, especially in chaos, is God Almighty and Him alone. And when we climb up and we go up to Him, we look to Him in the midst of our chaos, we find peace that even those that are around us don't understand. They're like, how are you going through this and you're so calm? How are you going through this and you still smile? How are you going through this? And we can't tell. That happens when we look to God Almighty and He gives us the peace that we need in our chaos. And those around us don't have to understand. They really don't have to, because it's not their time of chaos. It's not their season, and it's okay. It's our time. It's your time. And it's you to go up to God Almighty and come down with your peace. An instance that is relevant to this in our lives, so one of many, is one time when my husband and I didn't have a car. The car that we owned had problems, a lot of mechanical issues, and we were just like, it was kept by the mechanics to be fixed, and they were not managing, so we like, please sell it for us. In the meantime, our mode of transport to work, and to work mainly, was a bike, a really cool bike, my husband's bike. So I was a biker girl for a while. Anyway, one morning we wake up, get ready for work, get dressed, done getting dressed. Husband goes out the back door, goes to the bike to start it, just to get it ready for us to go to work. And then he walks back in and he's like, how are you? To me, with a smile. I'm like, I'm fine. And then he's like, the bike is gone. I'm like, I think the natural response, knowing me, would have been panic, rush, question, what do you mean? But there was none of those questions. It's just like, okay, let's go. And we go and we look at our driveway, see how the thieves left both our gates open. And then we close the gates and come back into the house. And then when we get back into the house, we start discussing the possible reasons of why this bike had to go. So we're like, maybe we would have been in an accident today, like the morning of the theft. The weather is not so great. It's not the best for biking. And we would have ridden the bike anyway, regardless of the state of the weather, which would have led to it would have not been good for our health, and our safety, but we would have done it anyway. We thought maybe this bike, it was a cool bike. It was a really cool bike. So we thought it probably attracted the wrong attention through its sound, its look, its performance. And if it wasn't stolen this way, the bad people that it attracted would have gone for it anyway, which could have led to a hijacking. And who knows how far the hijacking would have gone. Would it have just taken the bike, or would it have taken our lives and traumatized us, or different things. So we there definitely has to be a reason why this bike had to go. And from this discussion, we just came to the conclusion that it was for the best. We don't know what the best really is, but we know that it was for the best. And so, still in our work outfits, we go. My husband walks me to the clinic. I had to go anyway at some point. And then he goes to the police station to open up the case. And we do what we have to do. Then we come back home. And then sometime during the day, we inform our community WhatsApp group. And we inform some close family members. That was the beginning of what we had in the morning when it was just the two of us and God, that peace and contentment. It kind of changed after we started talking to a lot of people about the situation. It changed to a place of... And again, the neighbors and the friends and the family, they were so well-meaning, asking certain questions, saying certain things that they didn't think would be in any way hurtful or detrimental or damaging to us. But those many questions moved us from that place of contentment and peace, and it had to happen. There's a good reason. Everything happens for our good, and ultimately doesn't look good, but ultimately it will be for our best, Moved us from that to a place of, why didn't we wake up when we heard that noise around 3 a.m.? Why did we not buy stronger locks than that we were planning on getting anyway? Why did we not set up the home security system? Why? And then we started blaming ourselves, blaming each other. We even started suspecting people to say, maybe it's that one, from the conversations that we are having with the community people, and maybe it's that neighbor, maybe it's that mechanic. Then you start asking questions that are of no benefit in this situation. Even if it's that neighbor, even if it's that mechanic, what use is it now? We're just going to start hating people because even if we go to his house, it's not there. So what is the point of asking these questions? Even if we ask about the security system, we can set it up now, but it's not going to bring back the bike. So these questions, though they are good or seem good, they are of no value right now. So this led us to learning some lessons, and I just want to share those lessons if you don't mind. So these are the lessons that we learned about being in a situation that is unpleasant and especially unchangeable. So instead of wallowing in the gaping hole that chaos gives you an opportunity or presents you with, rather run up the ladder to God Almighty, the source of your peace. If you're married, go through it together and encourage each other instead of blaming each other or fighting against each other. It's very important to be careful who you tell about the chaos that you're going through, and to be very careful what advice and talks and words you accept in. It's difficult to hear and not accept, but the best is if you hear certain words that are not good, that are not wholesome, don't accept them. But the best, the first prize is don't even give yourself an opportunity to hear those words, which takes us to point number 3, to say, be careful who you tell about your situation. That way, you don't even allow your ears and your heart the opportunity to hear those words. The other lessons are for an outsider. Like if you are outside and someone is telling you about their chaos, or if somehow you find out about it, if you do not have positive, encouraging, uplifting, peaceful words to share with that person or those people, it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to not say anything. Don't send a message, don't call, don't visit. It's okay, because you'll force yourself to say things and to ask questions, and you think you're encouraging, but in reality, you're causing more damage than good. So stay far, just pray for them where you are, and let God do what you cannot do, in that situation. And the other thing to remember is, just because you're going through chaos doesn't mean that you've done bad and you've been a bad person or a bad child of God. It doesn't necessarily mean that. And secondly, it does not mean that God has forsaken you. He's there with you in the midst of that chaos. Let's read Nehemiah 9, verse 21. 40 years you sustained them in the wilderness. They lacked nothing. Their clothes did not wear out, and their feet did not swell. So for God to be sustaining you, it doesn't necessarily have to reflect in milk and honey. There are definitely moments of milk and honey, but there are also moments and seasons of the wilderness and of chaos. And in the wilderness, it doesn't mean that he's forsaken us. Again, he's there in the wilderness, just as Nehemiah 9 verse 21 tells us that he was there with them in the wilderness. And in the wilderness, they didn't get new clothes, they didn't get new shoes, they didn't get fancy food or whatever, but the clothes that they did have never wore out. The shoes that they did have, either he made them grow or he caused their feet not to grow. I don't know what he did, but he made sure that the shoes that they have last them, sustained them. The food that he gave them was sufficient. So even us in our times of the wilderness, in our times of chaos, for whatever reason God chooses to put us in the wilderness and in the chaos, he sustains us and enables us to put all of our hope and all of our trust in him, because there's no shop to be buying shoes in the wilderness, or even the money to be buying the clothes, but he makes sure that everything just works out. The other thing is for us to maintain our peace and count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing, according to James 1 verse 2 to 4. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have been encouraged, whether you are in a time of chaos now. You've been encouraged to climb up the ladder, go up to God Almighty, and let him give you peace. Nothing else can give you genuine peace. Only he can, especially in the chaos. And that is when you know that everything else that I thought was giving me peace doesn't actually. So be encouraged to look to him, climb up, run to him, and learn to be quiet in your times of chaos, and learn to be quiet when others are going through their times of chaos. Thanks again for watching. If it meant anything, if it did anything to you, please click the like button. If you like such content, consider subscribing, because there'll be a whole lot of this and more and better. And share with others. Let others be encouraged. Let others learn as we learn together. Until next time, bye for now.